So this is the game I'd like to show you guys today. It's a 3-in-1. It depends on the dot in the top right hand corner, and that will determine the game that you're going to play. So the pink dot is the one that we want to play today. We've got a red dot, that is feature bun, and then you just turn the game like this, which is Mike Burrows' game. And then this one is something that I am working on, which I will show early next year. I will do another video of this game. So what you need is a die, you need poker chips, you can use coins if you want to as well, and then you need a lead time distribution chart, which is what I have over here, as well as this sheet, what we will use to calculate the cost of delay. But I'll show you how to fill that in a little bit later. So when we play the batching game, or take a big batch through the system, it's a batch of 5. What we will do is we will move based on the dice roll. If you roll an even number, you can move a chip. If you roll an odd number, you are not allowed to move a chip. And this is how the batch will move through the system. One chip at a time. Obviously, even numbers you can move. If you roll odd, you have to stay. But this is how the batch will move through the system until it is finished. All right. And then we will play multitasking and limiting work in progress, but I'll illustrate that a little bit later. So let's get the batch through the system as quickly as possible. You can play this game with more than one individual. Obviously, definitely you'll have to play it with 2. You'll need a timekeeper as well. And then you can bring in more people, one to fill in the lead time distribution, as well as another person to fill in the calculation of the cost of delay, or one person can fill both in. Then you will need 3 people to play. So I'm going to time keep myself, but you will definitely need to get someone to help you do the timekeeping. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the batch through the system first. So I'm going to start now, and then we will get the batch, see how fast we can get the batch through. Gamify it, play it with more than one group, and see which one gets through the system first. All right, so let's start the game. Cannot move. I can move. Cannot move. Cannot move. Can move a chip. Cannot. Can move. Oh, sorry, I could move that one. Can move that one. Can move that one. That one, I can move that one. That's why you need a timekeeper. Can move that one. Okay, stop. So it took me 1 minute 57 seconds to get the batch through the system. So you'll see over here on the side we have the one where we take the batch through. Over here we have the multitasking one, and over here we have the limiting work in progress one that we take through the system. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to write down how long it took to get them through the system, and then I'll explain the rest of this chart a little bit later. So let's just move on to the multitasking one. Multitasking piece, you stack them all out like this, and then what you do is odd and even numbers still apply, and you roll for this one, then you roll for this one and you cycle through all the chips like this. So if it happens that there's one that's finished over there and your chips are staggered across the board like this, then you just go through them and start at this one again, and go through them and start at this one again. But you will also see now when I play the game what's going to happen with the multitasking one. Alright, so let's just start the clock and then see. That can move, I cannot move, I can move, I can move, cannot move. I start with that one again. I cannot move, I can move. And this is how it goes throughout the system. If you are the timekeeper, you are not allowed to help your buddy to tell them where they were. Lap. 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 Okay. So let's just write down the time for this one. This one took us 2 minutes to get through, so it's a total of 2 minutes to get it through the system. So the first token, or the first chip, we got through in 1 minute 33 seconds, and then 11 seconds after that, I'm just writing 11 seconds there, 11 seconds after that we got another chip through, which takes us to 1 minute 44 seconds, and then 5 seconds after that we got another chip through, which takes us to 1:49, and then 3 seconds after that it takes us to 1:52, and then 6 seconds after that it takes us to 2 minutes. Let's cap it at 2 minutes because we're not taking all the milliseconds into consideration here. So 2 minutes to get all of them through the system. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the limiting work in progress part. You can either, with a limiting work in progress, you take one chip at a time through the system, then you take another chip through the system, and this is how you're going to take it through the system. You can either do this, or you can stack them out like this and make sure you finish this one before you start this one, and you finish this one and you take it through the system like this. It might look like I'm saying that the optimal whip limit is 1. It's not what I'm saying. It's just for the game to illustrate cost of delay in terms of limiting work in progress versus batching versus multitasking. But I like to do the game, this part of the game like this, just to show that we are limiting the work in progress, so that it doesn't look like batching or doesn't look like the multitasking game. So let's see how fast we can get these ones through the system. Lap. Let's get the next one through. Lap. Okay, can go, can move, can move, Sorry, it can't move. Okay. Although I almost forgot to lap 1, it still worked out. So let's just have a look at the numbers here. So this, by taking them through one at a time, it took us 1 minute 43 seconds. Just want to write that down. So the first one we got through in 19 seconds. The second one went through in 17 seconds, then 20 seconds, then 20 seconds again, and the last one 26 seconds. So when we calculate the cost of delay, just to bring days into consideration here, what we say with the game is 30 seconds equals 2 days. So we will calculate all the days based on that calculation. So let's have a look at the first one. If 1 minute 57 seconds, if we take 30 seconds and we say it equals 2 days, then it's 30 seconds is 2 days, 1 minute 4 days, 1.5 minute is 6 days, and then that takes us close to 8 days, but we can say that it is 7 days that it took us to get the batch of 5 through the system, and that is when we got return on investment for the first time. All right, so let's have a look at the other one, which is the multitasking one. So 1 minute 33 seconds it took us to get the first one through, so that is 6 days. 1 minute 44 seconds is still 6 days. 1 minute 49 is 7 days because it is over a half of the seconds. This is also 7 days, 1 minute 52, and then 2 minutes equals 8 days for the batching. So in total it took us 8 days to get that through. All right, so then let's have a look at the last one. The first one went through in 19 seconds. 19 seconds is, we can say it's definitely more than half of 2 days. So let's stick to 2 days. 17 seconds, which is 2 days after that, because we started this one on the day after that, which is 2 days over there, and then 2 days again because it's 20 seconds, and then 2 days again because it's 20 seconds, and then 26 seconds takes us to a total of, it should actually be 8 days, just a little bit less than 8 days, but we can stick to 8 days for 1 minute 43 seconds. All right, so the total number of days that we got return on investment for the first one was from day 7. In the second round, the total number of days that we got return on investment for from day 6, I'm going to take it up to days 8 because this is the longest that the project took, the longest time it took to get one thing through the system, and now we're going to backfill it. So it's all on 8 days. And then just to backfill it, we do this just to compare apples with apples, which means that that's the total number of days that we got return on investment for this specific round that we played. The days that we missed, I'll mark with crosses. So that's the days that it actually cost us for not having this specific feature or work item type or whatever, user story, whatever you call it, not in production. We will use the value of the chip to calculate the cost of delay. So here we have all the X's that we missed. for the multitasking part, which is we missed out on return on investment for all of them. And then we do the same for the ones where we limited work in progress. This is maybe the most tricky part of the game, but I would invite you to please help me with this piece. Please send me variations of the game if you want to play the game. This game is for free. I'll load it up on my website. You can get it and you can play it, and hopefully it's going to make sense if you have issues where people do not understand the cost of delay. Donald Ranitson said you can ignore the economics, but the economics won't ignore you. So let's quickly look at the total made. So if we look at the batch, and this is what we fill in over here. If we look at the batch, we had a batch of 5 that went through. So from day 7, we got return on investment for the batch of 5. So if there's one batch of 5 that went through, the value of the chip is $100. It means that we have a value here of 500, and the total value added days that we have is 2. So this is the total that we made equals 1,000 for the batch. Let's just quickly calculate the total made when we did multitasking. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 value added days with a chip value of $100 each takes us to $1,100. Let's have a look at limiting work in progress with the first chip. And this is also, I'm sure you guys will understand, this is interest on interest, or compound interest, where we get return on investment for the amount of days for the duration of the project, and the duration of the project was 8 days. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have 20 value added days at a chip value of 100. This takes us to 2,000, the total that we made by limiting the work in progress. Now we're going to count the crosses to see what the cost of delay is for the three different games that we played. So with the batching, we lost out $500 on day 1, 500 on day 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days that we missed out on, with a value of 500 takes us to $3,000 that we missed out on, because we only got return on investment on day 7. And for the multitasking one, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So it's 29 days that we did not get any value, with a chip value of 100 takes us to 2,900. And the last one that we have to fill in is the limiting work in progress. And let's just count the crosses there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it is a total of 20 with a value of 100, which takes us to 2,000. Now, if we want to calculate what we could have made and what we lost out on because we did not limit our work in progress, or we took a big batch through the system, this is that value minus that value. It's 1,000 minus 3,000 equals minus 2,000, and we are not even taking the cost of the team into consideration here. If you bring that into consideration, the value might shock you. So let's take this one. So it's that value minus that value is 1,100 minus 2,900 is a total of minus 1,800. And if we take this one minus that one, it is 2,000 minus 2,000, which is a value of 0. way better than those two. And the main thing to take into consideration here is this value will not change or fluctuate like these values will fluctuate when you do not limit your work in progress or you take a big batch. So just to fill in the lead time distribution, just to show what happens with the lead time distribution and how it shifts to the left if we limit our work in progress. So we first got a batch through on day 7. So I'm just going to use different colors of Koki pens to show you how we fill this in. So we got one batch through on day 7, and if we use green for the lead time distribution, for the batch, then it's one batch that we got through on day 7. Let's use black for the other ones that we got through, and that was the multitasking one. So we got one batch through on day 6. One token through on day 6. We managed to get another token through on day 6. We managed to get another token through then on day 7, and then we had another token through on day 7, and the last one came through on day 8. Let's just have a look at the lead time distribution for the if you limit your work in progress, and we will use blue for that. We got one through on in 19 seconds. 19 seconds is less than 30 seconds, which is it's 2 days. We got another one through on 2 days, which was 17 seconds. Then there's another one on 2 days, which is 20 seconds. Another one on 2 days, 20 seconds. And the last one came through on 26 seconds. So you can see how the peak of your lead time distribution shifts to the left if you limit your work in progress. The more data points, data sets you move through the system, you will see that you might get a cluster, and you will get a good indication of the Weibull distribution on your lead time distribution chart. There is just one last variation that I want to take through, and that is where we take blockers into consideration, because I've seen in many organizations people are very complacent to removing blockers, and it's actually costing money if we take cost of delay into consideration. So let's just take the last one through the system here, and what I'm going to do with that one is I am going to make a cross over here, and I'm going to make a cross over here. You can make one cross, you can make 3 crosses, and I'll explain what those crosses will mean. So I'm going to illustrate this with the second one that we played, which was the multitasking round. So what's going to happen as soon as one of these chips hit the cross, you have to roll 4 consecutive even numbers to move this blocker out the system. What the 4 consecutive even numbers mean is I've sent the person an email, I'm waiting for a response. I phoned them, they said they will do it. All the different things that people can think up when we talk about blockers, and that is just what the 4 consecutive even numbers will show. All right, so let's just get my time ready, my phone ready again, so that I can start the game again. So let's just take this through the system again and see how long it's going to take us. Okay, now that one needs to stay there until we have rolled. Sorry, that one can move, that one can move, this one can move, that one can move. Stay. Okay, stay. If I missed something, it's because I am multitasking for a fact. I can't multitask, but no one can. Okay, I've rolled an even number, then I cannot move. Even, odd, I must move on. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the game here. I'm stopping it at 3:38. Okay, with 2 unfinished tasks. But I want to fill it in on the, I just want to show you guys, if we fill it in on the cost of delay sheet, what it's going to look like and how the risk, we say the risk is in the tail, and if we manage the tail of the lead time distribution, that is where we can cut down a lot of time and a lot of cost on our projects. So the first one we got through in, just a reminder, I stopped it on 3:38. Didn't get these two through the system. So let's just write down for the first one. It's 1 minute 30 seconds, then 14 seconds after that is 1 minute 44, and then 8 seconds after that it is 1 minute 52, with a total of 3 minutes 38. So let's just plot this on the chart here. So this is the first one we got through in 6 days. Then the second one went through still in 6 days, but that one went over into 7 days. And then the two that's not done currently sits on 3 minutes 38 seconds. So let's quickly calculate that. 30 seconds equals 2 days, 1 minute, 6 days, 8 days. Now we're sitting on 2 minutes. 30 seconds is 10 days. 30 seconds is 3 minutes, 30 seconds. So it's 14 days that we're sitting on. And this is where we stopped it, where we didn't make it. So if we plot this on a lead time distribution chart, you will see the following that's happening. So we had one that went through in 6 days. We had another item that also got delivered within 6 days. Then we have one that got delivered within 7 days, and the other two sits on 14 days, not completed yet. So the tail might have dragged out way more than what we have over here. Think about the previous game that we played when we showed cost of delay. If you think about the cost of delay on blockers within organizations, it is necessary that you almost hire someone in your organization to sort out the blockers and get the blockers removed it costs you a lot of money, and many organizations are so complacent to remove blockers because they do not really understand how much it costs them. Thank you. I hope this makes sense. I hope this will help you and your teams to become better. And watch out for the other game that's coming. What I want to do with the other one is to bring in classes of service that we use to calculate risk in a Kanban system. And that one will come through as well.